Oh, hello. You're watching me. I'm not watching you. You're watching me. And I've got this. Oh, I want to do product placement. Doing coffee. Coffee. See if anybody comes in here. Sean Price, what's up? Benny D, good morning to you. Truck and Life Ace, James Best. Hey, Ace, do you watch other trucker James Best? He's a good company side to IC side video guy. Dollar Bill, what's up? Stu Manchu, Sean Price, what's up? I got me some coffee. It's actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. Music Trucker, AK Bandit. Yes, I do. All right, Ace. He'd be a good one to hook up with, network with. But, so, you guys want to see where I'm delivering? Check it out. Put the coffee down. There is a cat. There we go. There's a little black cat drinking from the stream. There's water that comes off the air conditioner, or actually the roof there. And it's a watering hole for these animals. I've watched birds drink out of it. See, there's some birds. There's the kitty. Here, I'm going to scare him with the air brakes. Check it out. Watch. He's like, what the hell was that? Yeah, they all I think this house here has a bunch of cats in the yard. But here, I'll show you guys the alley. Check it out. All right. Gotta go through that skiddy road, right? And then I gotta go through there and see right there is a sign that says no tractor trailers, right there. Then I'm gonna go take a left here. There's a Hobby Lobby around the corner. I'll go around it. Then I gotta go through another no truck zone to get out of here. So this is where I spent the night last night. Nice. They have two docks here. See, there's the water. It comes from, I believe, well, no, I want to say it comes from that drain, but it doesn't. But there it is. Don't look at my truck, it's dirty. It's dirty. And then Transformers. Oh, and there's that light that kept flashing on and off that you guys saw. So, let's get in the truck. 3-point contact at all times. Ow. All right, we're back. Brian Smithberg coming from Nebraska, heading to Arlington, Texas today. You will be in warmer waters. I'll be in Dallas either tonight or tomorrow. Depends if my next customer wants to load me early or not. Russ Maynard, what's up? Russ Maynard is another Snyder IC doing videos. There's a bunch of us out here. Sun Chaser, good morning. Those of you curious about Lone Mountain might want to give Russ a holler, because that's what he did. He had one of them SFI trucks. Then he got himself a Lone Mountain truck with a killer warranty. I don't stay where there's no restroom access. Bandit, there is restroom access here. There's a McDonald's. That's 24 hours. That's where I got the coffee. See? That's where I got the coffee. Coffee. And then there's a convenience store over there on that side of the houses. And then you got all these trees. Those are 24-hour access. Kevin and Ollie, good morning to you. Ace is in Wisconsin. Is it cold up there, Ace? Sun Chaser, I think I already said hi to you. If not, hi. Hey, did you guys check out Ike Stevens' newest video? Rag Chew Productions. He used some apnea music. Isn't that cool of him? He put a link up in his video where you can download all the stuff. Snyder, IC Drivers, it's contagious. Yeah, we're a contagion, Russ. You're right. But I want to thank Ike Stevens for watching. If you're lurking, thanks for using the song and putting the link up. He even got fancy and put the album cover on the video and everything. It was cool. Thank you, Stu. And as far as the Bellaflor thing, called it. You know, what's funny is when he did that live feed of turning in his Traveloco truck, he slipped. He called out to his wife, asking her for the white binder, and he said, "No, not the Bellaflor one." And then he did a live feed from a lift gate, so I kind of knew what was going on. Don Cheek, I'm heading to Baldwin, Florida, if I can get out of this receiver, Moorhead, Kentucky. Oh, Moorhead, Kentucky. Is that the DG there, Don? If it's the DG, I know where you're at. If it's not, then I'm kind of confused because Kentucky's a blur to me. I've gone there twice for Snyder. They usually have some pretty decent freight coming in and out of there. Kentucky's not a bad place. I think Dre, he worked out of Louisville. So I think that's where he resides. 30 isn't cold. Below 30 is cold. Well, yeah. It was 38 degrees when I woke up this morning. Those of you wanting to watch my video for information, there really isn't going to be much information today because, well, no one's asked anything. So, had a good conversation with Next Gen earlier. Family Dollar, been here since 7, haven't been touched yet. Well, it's only an hour and a half, man. It's only an hour and a half. Family Dollar, the only Family Dollars I've ever delivered to were Odessa, and that was for Landstar, and it was a drop and hook. And I got lucky too because they had one empty left. And it was funny because I went up to the lady there and she was like, "Okay, drop your trailer in this place, blah, blah, blah," you know. And so I'm like, "Do you have an empty?" And she literally, she does this. I go, "Do you have an empty?" She goes, like I just pulled a gun on her, right? And she's like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, what? And she's like, "That is not of my concern. That is not my problem. If you have an empty, it'll be back there. If not, I don't know what to tell you." I'm like, okay, you could have just said, "I don't know." So apparently someone got very vicious with her one time looking for an empty. So I find the empty. They had one left, and I got out of there, and there was the Landstar driver pulling in, bobtail, and so the security guard was checking me out, and I was like, "Oh, is that guy looking for an empty?" He's like, "Yeah, he's been looking for 2 days." I'm like, "Okay, Jerome." I took out of there. So, Brian Smithberg, just need to BS once in a while. Yeah, that's all my live feeds have become, really. That Landstar Snyder video I did, that came out pretty good. I was kind of happy about that one. And I got a hater in the ranks because I get a thumbs down within minutes of my live feed now. I got a hater. That hurts my feelings. Kevin Baraka says, "I live in Louisville. Dre lives in Jeffersonville, Indiana." Oh, I thought he lived in Louisville. Well, who the heck am I thinking of then? Kevin and Ollie finally getting out of the house. Been posted since Friday. Gotta love the Florida Panhandle. Going to be a welfare week. LOL. I feel you, Kevin. You know, my brakes just set. My an acquaintance of mine at Landstar. He's running Amazon freight. He's doing pretty dang good. Too bad you couldn't get a hold of some of that Amazon freight. A lot of it's power only, though. David Box, I call and have FD removed if I book them. Oh, I call and have... Okay, Family Dollar. You know, the other thing about that Family Dollar load I picked up that went to Odessa, Texas, is there was a Schneider driver. And he was one of the local account guys because he had the white Freightliner with the 48-inch sleeper, and he had the roller ramp things on the back of his truck, and he was getting almost violent with the shipper clerk, and she was like getting ready to call the cops because he was just infuriated with her. I have no idea why. It's one of those situations where you walk in and people are yelling at each other, and you're like, do. You know, it was the Schneider load that I was doing, I think. No, it wasn't, because it was a drop and hook for Landstar. But it's a agent that had a lot of Schneider freight. But yeah, he almost got violent. He threatened violence on her. I'm sure that dude's not working for Schneider anymore. So could be at U.S. Foods in Port Orange, Florida. I was there for 10 hours. Dollar Bill, I feel ya. Remember that day I did like 4 live feeds in one day? Because I was at a grocery shipper or receiver for 10 hours. Remember that? Remember that? If you didn't, it's on there. Trucker Steven PA. So who is Jenny? Jenny is this chick. I found her number on the bathroom wall, and her number is 8675309. That's who Jenny is. I have no idea. I don't know why there's this controversy about Jenny. It's one of those things that we're making something out of nothing. You know, if it's just here's the thing. There's a lot of women truck drivers that don't use their real photos. They kind of keep private to themselves because they don't want every stalker in the world to go after them. And I really don't care. You know, I'm friends with her on Facebook. She's liked a bunch of my photos, but you know, that's it. That's all there is to it. So I'm not concerned about who Jenny is. Now, if Jenny starts doing something malicious, or if she starts lying to me, which I don't see why she would, then, you know, that's a different story. I'll just block her on Facebook and be done with it. Block her on YouTube. So I used to live in PCFL. You used to live in a pickle? Or no, Pickful. That stands for Pensacola, Florida. I know. Jeffersonville, Indiana is across the ridge from Louisville. Oh, okay, so I wasn't wrong. You just had to get technical on me, Kevin. I see how you are. Kevin says he wished he had a dry van at this point. I know, man. Everybody dogs the dry van, Kevin, but in the end, you know, a couple other travel guys have told me the same thing. That reefer stuff is... I don't know, Kevin. You think reefer would be a lot easier to go to Florida with? Maybe not getting out. Maybe Florida just sucks getting out no matter what you got. I would do power only if I could get back to my trailer when I need to. Yeah, they're kind of difficult. Bandit says you have a flat. Huh? Call for a good time. Okay, we're talking about Jenny again. If I could run the show loads I used to, I wouldn't be worried about a trailer. U.S. Food in Hurricane, West Virginia, you unload and sort yourself. Huh. So what's the plan when you're sitting waiting for a long time? Well, you do live feeds like this to kill the time. That's what I did. You get on your computer, crunch your numbers. If you're an owner-operator, you look for freight. I booked a load this morning. In fact, Snyder's got this really great deal where if you have a load that's not confirmed, you favorite it, and when it confirms, it hits your Qualcomm and your email at the same time. And it was a load that I was waiting for that's paying extremely well. Like, dang, I'm going to give them Traveloka guys a run for their money with this rate. So, and I snagged it. It's got an open window on both ends. So if the place where I'm going to after this screws me, then it's no big deal. No big deal. Because of the open window appointments. So if she's not catfishing, who cares? Right, says Ace. Panama City. Oh, yeah, okay. I screwed up there. I'm sorry. Dollar Bill, Kevin and Ollie. Yeah, I live in Pensacola. Okay. It's only bad leaving the house, right? Gotta leave the co-pilot home this time. Not looking forward to that. No Ollie till I come home for Christmas. Why? What's wrong with Ollie? How come? That sucks. Is there something going on with Ollie? I hope Ollie's okay. You know, my wife has become a fan of you, Kevin and Ollie, because yesterday she was running some errands and she just wanted to watch a quick 3-minute YouTube video to distract her from whatever she was having to do. And she came across your video of you and Ollie playing fetch. Is it coffee good or is it a hand warmer? It's both. No, it's actually pretty good. See what I did? See, I'm pretty smart. I bought a small one and a large one, okay? And then I fill it up with this. Now, I could be cheap and just take the cup in and order a large coffee and then get a refill, quote unquote. But no, I'm not a butthole. So, I mean, at least not this morning. And I fill this up and I had a little bit left over, so I'm drinking it. And so I got extra fresh hot coffee in here, and this coffee's getting kind of chilly. So I'm juggling coffee cups, the whole 9 yards. Dollar Bill is retired out of Whiting Field. Is that Whiting or Whitting Field? You know, Landstar, I went to Florida actually quite a bit. Because, you know, when you have to make a paycheck, it was an easy way to do it. And for Transland, we were running plastic pallets from Springfield to Port St. Lucie area, Tropicana. And those are great runs because they would just send us 600 miles up to Conyers for paper. So a full day of an empty trailer was awesome. Not that I was paying for fuel, but it's funner driving light loads. It's funner. So, but anybody else? What do you got? What do you got? Come on, I'm trying to occupy myself. Next gen wanted me to go on Periscope, but I'm here instead. So maybe I'll do a Periscope next. Dennis, oh yeah, I've already read that. You guys are behind on the comments. Vinny D, hey, thanks for the info. Have a great day and safe travels. Have a poker tournament starting. Anyone wants to join? It's on JO Poker. Chris Chipreader is my username. I don't know how to play poker. That's one of my shortcomings in life, I guess, is I don't know how to play poker. Next Gen's in the house. I was talking about you. Haha. No, I was just saying you probably were bored and wanted me to go live or something. The paper wasn't light, though. Right, Dollar Bill. It was, you know, I'll tell you a story about Conyers, right? Can't remember if it was Georgia Pacific or International Paper. But anyways, they have a new drop lot now, but as you used to go in, you go in this, you get on the CB, you know, they still checked in with the CB radio. And if you didn't, you had to park and walk all the way up, which is kind of a bit of a... So if you hate walking, get a CB radio, because that'll keep you from walking sometimes. So I got in the CB and they checked in. They're like, "What's your pickup number?" I told them, like, "All right, go sit in the empty lot here, or the gravel lot." And I swear, man, when he drove in, there were skeletons at the steering wheel because people have been there for so long. It's like it was the land of forgotten drivers, is what that was. And there was a lot of angry people on that CB radio. And someone asked, yep, I hope you got food and water. I'm like, why? Have you guys been here a while? I've been here for 10 hours. I've been here for 12 hours. I'm getting ready to leave. You know, that kind of thing. And I was there for a full break. And my son was with me. My poor son, man, his first trip out with me is we had a load that went to Atlanta, load of pallets. And we sat for 3 hours at the dock, and then we drive literally, was a half an hour, and had to sit for another 10 hours. Poor dude was like tired of sitting. It's no wonder he doesn't want to come in the truck with me anymore. So, because, man, the first few years he loved it. That was his thing, man. Like at home he couldn't sit still to save his life, but in the truck he could stay still. I had the Qualcomm system at Transland's trucks. They had, the small unit on the dash, but then they had the bigger unit with the keyboard on the glove box, and he would love to watch the GPS, and it was kind of like his own, GPS thing. He loved it. So. Ryan Smithberg, so living in Springfield, do you get down to Branson much? Up until last few years, my wife and I would go down every summer and boat on the Table Rock. Yeah, I've been to Branson many times. Back in my late 20s, I dated a gal that lived in Branson. And if you live and work in Branson, you get huge discounts to like Silver Dollar City, Ripley's Museum, the Wax Museum, like all kinds of stuff. And hundreds of dollars of savings if you work inside Branson. But yeah, we go to Branson all the time. We usually get season tickets to Stiller Dollar City, and it's all right. It's a lot better now since they improved a lot of the traffic lanes. Before, if you got on 76, man, you were bumper to bumper traffic on one strip because everything was on one strip. Lost Cause, good morning. Trucker Steve, can you sleep in Tennessee rest areas? Sign says 2 hours max. I've never had a problem, Trucker Steve. I've slept at that rest area there on the top of Monteagle. I've slept there, no issues. I think Georgia does the same thing, but I think what they're trying to prevent is people in cars just kind of camping out there. Hammer Down, what's up? Yeah, that rules for cars. So, if anything, what you do is cop tells you to move, you're like, oh, my truck won't start. But no one's going to bother you, dude. That's for the cars. They don't want cars sleeping there. So, Georgia does the same thing. Just rolling the Buckeye and the Keystone today. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to be spending next week because I got a doc's appointment Monday morning, a week from today. And then I got to get to Edwardsville by Wednesday for my drive around the block test. Here at Snyder, we have to do an annual drive around the block to make sure that you're still cool. Make sure you haven't gotten too complacent. And you got to schedule them in advance. You can't just show up to the OC and go, here I am. They hate that. So we scheduled it for Edwardsville. And yeah. So, at any rate, I know I can find freight out of there. So, it's a little bit of a deadhead, but it's close as OC.
And I might get lucky and find something that goes to St. Louis out of Springfield. So Ollie's fine. He's due his annual vet visits, and I need to get some bushings replaced on the truck, so I'll be in the shop at least today again. Was kind of a pain getting him back and forth to the hotel. Yeah, I hear you. That's one of the reasons, I kind of go back and forth on whether I want a dog in the truck or not. And that's one of the things I thought about. I was like, man, what if you have to get a hotel because your truck's down? What if you're at a place that you're taking 10 hours to load or you got to idle the truck a lot more and that kind of thing. That drive around the block is the stupidest thing ever, says Lafayette. Yep. Yep. I'm hoping the new contract says, hey, you don't have to do that unless you get so many critical events. Next Gen says no dog. Seriously glad I don't work there. I believe that only one road test is required, says Bandit. And it's really not that bad. You have to swallow a little bit of pride, a little bit. Not pride, but you have to kind of to bite your tongue a little bit. But, because every now and then you'll get someone that, I've heard that you can get someone that's got I know everything you don't, and you've been driving longer than they've been whatever they are. Jeffrey's mentioned that a couple of times, but it's really no big deal. It's funny. I watched, Landstar has no tests whatsoever. They figured if you can get a truck, you're good, right? And I watched a Landstar driver a couple of days ago. Actually, yeah, Saturday in Roland at that Pilot. He struggled for 15 minutes just trying to straight back into a spot. So it is kind of, condescending a little bit, because I've seen some of the company guys and owner ops. I've seen Schneider drivers struggle to back where they're supposed to. And the drive around the block test doesn't really, I think what it does is it shows your habits. Like if you have a tendency to do certain things, and I shift in the middle of turns. That's just what I do. And most of the time. And so I always get points docked off for that. But I try to be more conscious about it, but it's not really a big deal. I was talking to Next Gen about this morning, about the micromanaging Schneider does. It's all perspective, people. I don't get red critical events on my Qualcomm. I've got one critical event in 2 years for a hard brake. That's it. And that was because it was raining and someone cut me off. They say a lot of make sure you do this, make sure you do that in the Qualcomm. We get the messages that the company guys do about make sure you do your pre-trip, make sure you do the, make sure you don't drive in snow, make sure you don't do this, make sure it's because there are people out there that just need to hear that stuff. There are people out there that you have to hold their hand. And unfortunately, Schneider is no different than all the other mega carriers when it comes to, hey, we have to hold their hands if they're within their first year and they don't know what they're doing. And what so a drive around the block test is not a big deal to me, because if it enables me to have the business partner of all the drop and hooks and the easy load booking, then, it's worth it to me. Now, Landstar, you feel like a more true owner operator because you're having to do a lot more work. You're having to book the loads. You're having to make the phone calls. You're having to make the relationships. And you have to network and do this, that, and the other. But then Landstar also had a lot of safety issues. They almost lost their ability to haul hazmat because people were coming over to Landstar, never had hazmat endorsement, so they get their hazmat endorsement and they don't know the rules. You can pass the test all day long and still screw up on how to tie it down, and then a lot of them just do what the shippers say. Oh no, these are the right placards. So Landstar would hold your hand if you're hauling a hazmat load. So it's not a big deal to me, man. It's not a big deal. And if you find yourself calling into the mothership all the time over a lot of little things, that's not Snyder's fault, man. That's something you got to look at yourself. Hey, check out. There's a little bobtail cat. Speaking of bobtail, look. Look at that. He runs away too. I've tried to pet all these cats that have been out here. I've seen like 5 different ones. They all run away. I don't know why. So. I prefer working for the company that don't require it. I hear you, Bandit. You know, and here's the thing. If you don't live near an OC and you have to get off your normal lane to get to an OC, it's a pain in the butt. And will I be happy if they do away with it? Yeah, I will. But at the same time, it's something that I got to do, and, you know, I'm not going to gripe about it. I'm just going to sit there and say, you know what? Whatever. You know, it's not like it's not like I'm going to fail. So, and if I do, then they don't want me anyway. So, every company, big or small, has excellent drivers and terrible drivers. Right, Kevin. After 10 years, you should know how to drive. You would think. Well, Bandit, let's talk about that for a second. There's a lot of guys that are complacent. In that complacency, you get bad habits. I rode with the driver that had been driving almost as long as I've been alive. And you know what? I was scared to death. It was like, oh my God. You know, because, you know, complacency can be your worst enemy. You know, you see it all the time. People in the snow, oh man, I got this. And guess what? They're in the ditch, you know, because they're overconfident, you know. You can start carrying lunch meat with you just in case you find feral cats you need to make friends with. That's not a bad idea, nothing witty. Big Tex in the house. Daniel Adami, Uncle Snorlax, good morning. Are you feeling better, Daniel? Maybe they want cookies. Hammer down. I wish they would make it so we could watch these training videos on our own computer instead of having to go into OC for that too. Hammer down. I will agree with you 110% on that. Like I said, there are drivers that don't get through OCs like I do. Like I'm out, you know, at least once every 2 weeks, I'm either through Dallas or Edwardsville or Indianapolis, and even then, I kind of wait till last minute to do this last video. I was, you know, sorry, I'm distracted. All these birds are like using the stream as a bath, bird bath. It's kind of funny, but I'm feeling better. But I just got the runs. Happens every time I get sick. Daniel, TMI. Ace, what's up? All right, see you later, Ace. Thanks for tuning in. Kevin and Ollie, I'm about to break down and say F it and take him with me. Dude, take the dog. Go get him. Say, come here, Ollie. Come here, Ollie. Go get, you know, Kevin and Ollie, I thought of you the other day. I was at the Loves in Valley, Oklahoma. Okay, another story time with Snorlord here. And as I'm walking up, you know, I parked the truck, and I'm walking up into the store, and there's a golden retriever just sitting there. He's laying down on the sidewalk of the store, not at the entrance, but like towards the back. And he just kind of looks at me. And I walk up, you know, I don't walk up to him. I know not to walk up to strange dogs. And he just kind of looked at me. I looked at him, and, you know, he was almost like, what's up, man? You know, so I go in, and I came out with food. And he could smell it. So guess what? He starts following me to the truck. And he didn't have a collar on. I'm like, man, I should take him with me. But, you know, it would suck that, you know, if it was some kid's pet and you know, you don't want no truck driver kidnapping your dog or whatever. But you know, golden retrievers are good dogs, right? So I stop. As he's following me, I go, no. And he kind of perked his ears up. I said, go home. Go home. And he kind of looked at me, and then he follows a little bit. I go, no, go home. And then he just lays down right there in the parking lot, in the middle of the parking lot. And I'm like, okay. So I walk up to my truck. I'm sitting there in the driver's seat, just kind of looking around. And because I have no phone signal, so I couldn't watch YouTube videos or anything. So I'm just like, you know. And this Milky Way tanker truck comes rolling in there. Now, this isn't a busy Love's by no means. I mean, like, there was 5 trucks total there. I saw 2 maybe drive in. And it's dark now. And the dog is just laying there in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, no, don't hit him, don't hit him. And he stopped just in time. And the dog kind of just gets up and then walks away. And I, you know, the next morning I never saw the dog, so I was going to give him some food after that. But I you know, I kind of wondered, you know, what the story is with that dog, because a nice golden retriever like that shouldn't be left, you know, shouldn't be left alone, right? Sunchase says there's never TMI on YouTube. Oh, well, I'm in my kitchen about to leave. Well, grab the dog. Can't you do a vet appointment like anywhere? That's what Uber's for. Yeah, Daniel Dami says, Sunchase, you are correct. You know, did anybody watch Jay Cannell's Packy One Chip Challenge thing that he did for charity? I thought that was a very noble act. However, what it does, if you watch that video, guess what? Guess what shows up in your feeds? Everybody else that did those. And I've been highly entertained by these videos because you always see the moment of regret. They're sitting there eating. Oh. It's like that. And it's hilarious to me. There was 2 guys that were trying to do they were trying to eat 10 apiece, right? And so now if you buy these chips on the low end, they're like $7 a piece. So they bought $70 each, so $140. Hey, I did math of chips, and they one guy got to the second one, and the other guy was like done after the first one. I'm like, that's a lot of money wasted. But it's so funny because almost every single person was, oh man, I eat hot stuff all the time. They obviously didn't read the package. I eat hot stuff all the time. This ain't nothing. I'm from, one guy said, I'm from Africa. We live in heat. Yeah. 5 minutes later, he was crying. Ryan Clark says, I'm thinking hard about a dog for the truck. I don't know, though. Ryan Clark, here's the ups and downs of a dog in the truck. Let's talk about that for a second. Because I know what I'm talking about, right? Whatever. There are some places that I go into with the Big Orange that will not allow pets. Most of the paper plants you can't have a pet. And some food plants you can't. And so you have that to worry about. The other thing is, if your truck breaks down, you got to find a hotel that'll accommodate the animal. And then if you're in a situation where you got to be out of the truck for 10 hours and you're on the road, and you either got to idle the truck or let the APU run, and if the APU shuts off, that could be a bad thing. There's been times where even my brand new APU, the AC is working too hard, so the breaker will hit. The APU's still running, but the AC's not running. And if I had left an animal, it could have been a bad deal. So that is something to consider. Now, if you do a lot of short runs and you're home a lot and you don't spend a whole lot of time at docks and that kind of thing, you know, it just depends on your situation. And I would think it'd be great to have a dog for the truck. The dog that I have at home was originally to put him in the truck, but with the way the Peterbilt was, you know, I didn't want to have to idle it all the time because the APU never worked. So this truck here had pets in it, because you can still see the dog fur between the armrest and the window that you can't get anything in there to detail it. So Sun Chaser said, I had a dog with me for about 5 years. Biggest problem I had was truck breakdown. Right. The next day is the worst regret. Right, Adam Gallagher? Only had one shipper that wouldn't let me in, says Sun Chaser. They're just not allowed to get out of the truck, and 90% of hotels allow dogs. McGee Films. I have. You have a dog, McGee? I probably knew that. Man, you YouTube guys, I'm having trouble keeping track of all of you. Everybody's going live and everybody's doing videos, and I've got way too many people in my notifications list. You missed my last comment. No, I didn't, Daniel. I just didn't read it out loud. You saw a video of that one chip challenge before. It was a father-son duo who both ate like 4 or 5 of those chips at once. I don't think, if it's the same video I saw, Daniel, I don't think they even got the 4 and 5. Daniel's very sensitive if I don't read everything he says. So, did you see my live feed? No, Sun Chaser? I gotta check to see if I'm subscribed to you. Hold on, Sun Chaser. See, you guys could be bashing me in your live feeds. I wouldn't even know it. I do watch some of you guys. Don't get me wrong. Oh, there I am. Better turn the volume down so there's no echo. Gotta skip the ad. Man, don't you hate those ads? Gosh, who put them on their video? Let's see here. Sun Chaser. Quit commenting so okay, there you go. Are you just joking? Okay, I see, Sun Chaser. Go to channel. You've got 2 subscribers and no content. Gosh. All that work for nothing. So I'm going to comment and show my little crown. Hi, everyone. Bing. Look at that. Who's got the crown there? I'm king. Check that out. Check that out. Isn't that a neat thing? That crown says, I'm boss and you need to pay attention to me. So, King Snorlord, that is right. Thor, are you talking about a gay person or are you talking about that cigarette thing? Is that, you're talking about that cigarette? McGee Films, where's my wrench? I gotta get on the laptop to do that, McGee Films. The only reason why there's a crown is because I commented on my own video. Pale Rider. What? Pale Rider? Oh, now I got this guy taking pictures. What are you taking pictures of? Check it out. He's taking pictures. I know, Thor. Check it out. Oh, I can do that too. I can take pictures too. I think he's looking at the. Oh shit! I almost blocked myself. I think he's looking at the wiring stuff. Maybe they're expecting some ice storm or something. So I'm famous? No, I'm not famous. I don't want to be famous. You know why? Because, you go to like Rag Chew Productions or Little Guy or Little Dog, you go to their comments and their videos, man, they got people hating on them all the time. I'm a very sensitive person. If you blocked yourself, that would be funny. You'd like that, Gary, wouldn't you? Denise, what's up? Lord Snore of Apneaville. I have a new band. It's called Sulk. In fact, the song that Ike used is actually a Sulk song. Sulk song now. It's where I'm doing the clean singing vocals more instead of the growly, angry stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm still growly and angry. But, Next Gen is too good to call his friends anymore. He is a busy man. Well, Thor, he talked to me today. He talked to me, so that makes me... I have the crown. He knows who king is. I'm glad Daniel is good-natured. Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, Daniel uses apnea all the time, except for that one day he used classical music. And I think a lot of his viewers are like, dude, what the heck? Are you on 2 devices? Yep, I am. See? You're watching me. See? Now look in the... Oh, man, we're going to break a dimension here. Check that out. Look at that delay. And if you can see, if you're watching this on a 60-inch screen, you're going to see each movement. Oh, I'm such a dork. Oh, man. I'm glad I got unlimited data. Oh, shoot. Here I am damaging my GoPro. I always hide the well, I don't hide the GoPro up there. I don't do that. That's silly. But here we go. Freight Shaker Gary says, LOL, you looking at you unlimited is awesome. That just broke your data. Yep. Check it out. Let's put the GoPro right over my face so you can't see it. There you go. Man, I'm bored. This is a dumb video. I'm gonna make this private as soon as it's done. So here, let's do a vlog real quick. We'll do Pale Rider style. 3, 4, 2, 1. So here I am. I'm doing a live video, and I'm here in Conway, Arkansas at the customer. You can see what it looks like. There we go. And I'm doing dorky stuff on YouTube. There, you just saw me do a vlog, guys. There you go. That's how you do GoPro stuff. So anyways, guys, this video's stupid. I'm getting out of here. So, you guys take it easy. Thanks for watching. And, thanks for watching me, even though I'm a dork. Look, there's the low board. You guys want to see a low board? You guys want to know how many loads are within Marietta, Oklahoma? 50 miles from 1120 to 1204. You guys want to know how many loads there are? There is 16. There's a lot of loads coming out of Ardmore. I might have to snag one of those. So, one of these days I'll do a how I book freight kind of a thing. I can't show the low board. I can't tell you guys about rates and all that. I can't sit there and say, oh, there's a load going to Wichita for 2.25 a mile. I can't do stuff like that. Mr. Freight Chick Gary, low bore live feed. Now we talking. Yeah, what I'll do, guys, is every now and then when I'm booking freight, there's 2 scenarios that I'll come up with. Like, and I've talked about it before. I actually use my whiteboard and I write down each load, how many miles, the time, you know, not in total detail, but just the gist of it, and then write down the revenue. And then the other scenario, because you favorite all these loads and then you book them accordingly. And so a lot of times you book out from, like, say, Sunday to Wednesday. That's what I've done. I'm actually booked until Wednesday. And sometimes you come up with two scenarios, sometimes you don't. And then you gotta figure out which scenario works best, which one has higher revenue. Then you gotta take things into consideration like tolls, the terrain. You know, I'll do a load for $100 less if it's taking me through Illinois, Indiana, where there's no mountains, versus a load that might pay the same going to, say, you know, I don't know, Atlanta, because you got all the hills and stuff. So, and then also where you end up is a huge, you know, is there more freight in, say, Indianapolis than, say, Dallas? And then what's the pay like over there? So another trick for you Schneider IC guys is open multiple windows for different searches. So, for example, I've got the load board here. Let's go to the home. I don't want you guys to see the details. So, let's go to home. Okay. There's what the home page looks like. And then what I'll do is I'll click and add another tab. So now I've got two. So one page I'll do, like, say, I'm looking for freight coming out of Marietta. So I'll put it to that. But if there's like, let's say I just want to see what's coming out of Durant, or say Ardmore, as Pale Rider likes to say, then I'll just put 0 mile radius of Ardmore. Then I'll just do the math myself on what it really makes to that pace of the truck. Sorry, I'm tongue tied again. So Thor is bored with my numbers now. He just went live. So, but anyways, so I should probably go over more tips and tricks of running the load board. But see, the reason why I don't do a whole lot of that is because there are guys that are masters at this way more than I was. You know why? Because they got Schneider Finance trucks, and they have a lot more, like, Hammer Down probably has better load board skills than I do now, because he's trying to be home every other day. Jeffrey Like is the master. That's why we call him the Godfather. So maybe I should go over, you know, I always tell these travel local guys, you should tell us how you book your freight and everything. Maybe I need to go over a scenario where I do that live on a live feed, or at least in a video. So 404 Truckers going live. So everybody else is going live. And I'm going to get out of here. And thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry this video went too long with absolutely no information except the very end. And even then, that wasn't great information. So, with that being said, have a good day. And, you know, how long have you been picking your own loads, Denise? Denise, if you count the whole time I've been an owner operator, about 4 years. So, dog on the truck. All right, Kevin. Cool. We're looking forward to the videos with Ollie. If you haven't checked out Kevin and Ollie on the road, Kevin is the guy, Ollie is the dog, and he's the one in the thumbnail. So they got a great, great, great channel. So anyways, you've been slacking on the videos. I know, Kevin. Gosh. Tell me about it. Later. Guys, take it easy. Thanks for watching.